yeah, I think I may not talk too much till I see people showing up. That if someone will actually show up, then I'm not really so sure about that. But how is your happy Tuesday? How is your Tuesday going? How is your week going? Global change, what is global change? Sorry, global warming, climate change, everything, high rate of rainfall, heat, everything. It's just really out of, like, I don't even know. But that's not what I'm here to talk about today. What I'm here to talk about is okay, DNA programs. The reason I'm actually laughing is because, mm, number one, number one is we have lots of DNA problems, and I'm highly, highly afraid that when people will actually carry their families to go for this DNA test, a lot of families may crumble. A lot of families may crumble because how will I put it? Some people during our time never did DNA. They didn't do anything concerning DNA test. They were just like, oh, it's my child. We have the same nose. We have the same mouth. We have the same face. But what if it's just as a result of, when people live together, they start resembling each other. That one is another thing that people don't take note of. So I'm actually surprised that my country, Nigeria, is the second to the highest when it comes to DNA issues. And the funny thing is that when you start telling the person, why did you do such a thing? The person is just your child. Take care of them, take care of them. Now, from where I come from, they say a child is only has one mother, but can have many fathers. Why? Because the child came from one womb. The child cannot come out from two wombs. Even when they do IVF and the rest, the child can only come from one womb. Even surrogacy, the child can still come from one womb. Please, I don't mean to be disrespectful to any mode of birth. Please, anybody that gives birth to a child in any way is actually a superstar and a superhero, a heroine. Because right now, with the way society is going, it's not so easy to even get pregnant. So yeah. But going back to what I said, a child can only have one mother but have many fathers. So what is going on? Why is it that there's this upsurge of DNA issues? I think first of all, based on where I'm coming from, poverty will be the greatest issue. Now let me relate why I let me say let me tell you let me tell you why poverty may be one of the greatest issues, reasons why these kind of things happen. Because number one, girl meets guy, they fall in love, blah blah blah. She's so much in love with the guy, she can't let the guy go. And eventually, Mr. A from Italy or Mr. V from US or Mr. C from wherever comes back home. And everybody's like, go for him. He's rich, he has money, he has this, he has that. Now, her family may want her to go for her family may want her to go for the guy, that's the rich guy. But the reason why her family is wanting her to go for the rich guy is because he has money. Now her mind is not there. Poverty just made them to tell her choose this kind of person because this is the person that is actually good for you. And she ends up choosing this person and she neglects her heart. Now I'm not saying that the heart is always correct when it comes to marriage and everything, but sometimes it's actually good to go with what you know you can handle. And then she goes for this other guy. And she eventually finds out that she cannot really be his wife because they may be doing things together, but her mind is elsewhere. And then eventually she meets the guy one day, or she will be meeting the guy and gets pregnant. When you know meeting the guy, you guys know what I mean. There's only for me to explain, we're all adults here. So she meets the guy, gets pregnant, and the child comes out hopefully or thankfully looking like her. But the husband begins to suspect that there are some things that the family may not carry. Like now, in my own family, something like this, when we see a child that has this kind of thing, this kind of birthmark, we know that that child is from our family because we have like different patterns of birthmark. There can be birthmark on the face, it can be birthmark on the back, on the waist, wherever. Some people even have on their leg, but there must be birthmark somewhere. At least somebody must have one birthmark, or they may have things like this, something like this. Uh-huh. So when he starts looking at it and he's like, this child is not my own, and he secretly goes for DNA test. He finds out that this child is not his. Then his land like, why you do this to me? Like, is your child? Didn't I give birth to the child under your roof? Train the child. Really? Poverty pushed her family to make her decision eventually. But I think a time has come where we should start having a mind of our own, because if we keep on blaming things on poverty, family pressure, the rest and the rest, my dear, I don't think I'm going to move forward. It takes one person to liberate their family. But must you use your own happiness to liberate your family? Because you're not just putting yourself under the risk of, you don't know who you are going, you don't know this man, you just feel like he's rich. You are also putting yourself under the risk of the fact that you may end up committing that problem of, going elsewhere to get pregnant, and then DNA problem starts. That's how it starts, just as little as that. Then there are some people who may have, you know, twins and all that, blah, 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 and it happened, and maybe she may want to trap the guy, the original boyfriend with the pregnancy, and eventually marries her, only for him to find out that this child is not his own. There's a guy who just came out on TikTok recently. So sorry about the generator sound. We're in Nigeria and there's no light, so yeah. So there's a guy that found out that the daughter that he has is not his own. And this girl made him to marry her. Like, this girl made him to marry her. He married her, bought her a car, opened a business for her because, hey, she's the mother of my child. So why don't we just start a life together? There's no need to start wasting time. Maybe this is a sign that we should get married. And he did. And eventually it backfired. Like, how do you explain things like this? Like, who should be blamed? Because it takes two to tango. You can't just blame only the woman. Some men actually know that this woman is married, but they still go ahead. So who is to be blamed? Though I know that yes, women are gatekeepers of, when it comes to saying yes or no, women are the gatekeepers. But still, as a man, what do you also do? She's coming to you. Why don't you just try to not be the silly one and allow her be the silly one by sending her away? Anyway, I've said what I wanted to say. I didn't want to talk more than this. So if you have anything to drop, let me know. See you soon.